Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, this is Cherokee Billie, and welcome to the Sacred Path radio program. Glad you're taking time out to listen as we talk about today the harvest moon and what it means in regards to your zodiac sign, what it will be bringing in. And joining me is my friend Ray, who is also a great student of mine, and I'm so glad he's here. Ray, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right. Are you ready for the harvest moon?
I'm ready for Freddie. Yes, I
That
am.
doesn't mean, yeah, because, let's go into a bit about the harvest moon, why it came about the name, because this is the longest moon where there's not moon, but light in this time of year. And this is when harvest was coming in and farmers took advantage of this full moon to bring in those crops. And it's kind of like a symbolism of us. We need to be gathering in and harvesting what we have done and bring it into this time and place, because this is going to help us know how we're finishing out the rest of the year. Do you have any thoughts on this, Ray?
Basically, as I was reading, I'm not sure if this is part of the harvest moon or the equinox or whatever, but as of last night, what I understand and what I read, the sun has crossed over the equator. Well, it crosses every day, but that's the equator is where everything goes, and now the southern hemisphere is going to experience longer days, and we're going to go with the shorter ones. Where before that, I mean, it might only be a few minutes a day, but it's going to be getting, as everybody knows, darker sooner and lighter later.
Yeah, it's the opposite on the other side of the world. Every equinox is they get like they're going into this spring or summer, and we're starting to go into fall, and when it's winter here, it'll be summer for them. That's just the way it works. But I'm going to be going into the zodiac signs here, so I'm going to read, starting with Aries, how you can relate what this harvest moon is trying to make you understand or bring in. So for Aries, you can't predict what comes next, Aries, and since you're an adrenaline-seeking sign, that has historically been a delight for you. Embrace the mystery during the full moon, this one is particular, and take it as it comes. Now, Taurus, friends may come and go, but the ones who have your back will never leave your side. Consider in your circle who it is that really is there for you. Spend time with people who make you feel supported and who cheer on your victories as loud or even louder than you do. Those definitely are the ones to keep. Gemini.
Absolutely.
Gemini, when you're passionate about something, you tend to go all in. But for the first time in a while, you're creating much-needed boundaries between you and your job responsibilities. Rather than taking on project after project, you're considering your bandwidth and making room for some downtime and decompression. Definitely, I can relate as I'm a Gemini. Now we go to Cancer. Permission to daydream granted. Think of daydreams and hoping as a way to visualize the life you want. Then when you have energy, put in the work needed to get there. Remember, this is all about this energy around this moon. So now we go to Leo. This is a moment in which you can heal old wounds, as long as you're willing to have an open conversation about things that upset you. Don't run away from the past. Dealing with it directly will allow you to comprehend matters on a deeper and more significant level. Virgo. Personal connections take center stage now, asking you to decide how to move them forward. The drama isn't being brought on by you, Rather, meddling peeps in your own orbit are telling you what to do. Assert your feelings. That's not always easy for Virgos, but important to think on. Libra, you're hungering for recognition, understandably giving all your hard work. Speaking up doesn't always come naturally to you. Plan for a review with your supervisor or whoever, and hopefully hear what you're looking for. But if you don't, give yourself your own pep talk. Scorpio, you're feeling things, Scorpio, romantic things. Now you're looking for unique ways to express your heartfelt sentiments to your crush or significant other. Don't think too hard about it. Plan for something fun, and in your laughter, you'll find a way to express what it is you mean. Sagittarius, home is where your heart is, which is why this moon is inspiring you to spruce up the decor. You'll want to make a few changes by adding a few throw pillows, getting a new bedspread, or making decorations for the fall. Don't go overboard. Just minor adjustments will go a long way, and it will lift up your spirit tremendously. Capricorn, you've been a busy sea goat lately. It's been hard balancing out you time when the tasks at work keep piling up. Self-care, as you know, is important, which is why you should make time for rest and recovery in an effort to decompress. I think everyone needs to take time out at least once a week, shut off the phones, and decompress. That's a message for everyone. Aquarius.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead, Ray.
yeah, if you remember correctly, it used to be, now I'm talking years ago, Sunday basically was the day of rest where nobody worked, the stores weren't open, you had better had gas or else, or you wasn't going anyplace. You need that day of rest like you said, rejuvenate and, just relax, get your head back into the swing of things, and then go from there.
Absolutely. Everyone needs this. But it seems to be a big message for Capricorn right now, but we all need it. Now let me finish this up here with Aquarius. Aquarius, money comes and goes. The latter occurs faster. In order to get ahead with your spending, you'll have to implement a budget, which will be hard for your spirit. However, putting a little bit of cash away on occasion for a rainy day will be useful in the end. And now we come to Pisces. Check in with your loved ones and see how they're doing. And don't just superficially ask them, but really find out what they're doing. Or if you're longing to make up with someone with whom you've had issues with recently, how now would be an ideal time. Let your tender and sentimental side guide you towards connecting with those you care about. Again, all these messages I think are always good for everybody that come through.
Absolutely.
Your thoughts with it? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you always got to be thinking, to try to make peace with everybody. Some people you just can't do it. I know that from firsthand experience. So you just, right. You try to relax. You try to enjoy. I mean, life isn't, here for 10,000 years. What time you have here, it may seem like a long time, but it's really just a blink of an eye. So you have to enjoy life, smile, laugh, and go from there.
Yeah, well, it is a short ride, but sometimes it seems like it's eternity. And also with the harvest moon, it's important to remember that the veil between our world and the spirit world is thin. So it's a time, especially on the harvest moon, to, ask a loved one, a pet, whoever it may be in the spirit world, ask them to come and give you a sign, a message, and look for it mainly in dreams. That's the easiest way, although they may do it in other ways. But expect that they're going to do it. But ask. It's important you ask because they often wait for that. We expect them just to show up, but they want to be invited back. So make sure you protect yourself spiritually, always before asking for a spirit to visit with you, so you know you're getting exactly who you want and not some intruder.
Right. And you always, like you said, you always have to protect yourself with the white light. I always I always ask St. Michael, the Archangel, to send his blue light upon me. That way, hopefully, nothing gets through between God's white light and St. Mike's blue light. But, I feel pretty safe there.
Yes, well, again, every show we end up talking about it because in our world we need spiritual protection more than ever before. Ever before. Things are going faster and faster, and with, you know, cell phones and the smartphones and all this, it's not made people smarter, in my opinion. It's dumbing people down, and everyone follows the leader, and that's a real bad thing about them. And if you could, people, try to set aside one day where you can literally turn off your phone and just live life. Go for a walk. Do something where you're just you and not looking at your phone every few minutes. I watched a movie that was really great last night, and it was one of the romance movies, but it was a guy who went out on a date, and he was standing at a window where it was artwork and looking at the pictures with the date, and he was pointing out what it meant. She just never took her eyes off the phone. She just constantly was typing throughout everything he said. And he goes, wow, it's amazing you can do all that and type. And she says, oh, it's not a problem. He didn't ask her out again.
Well,
Yeah,
I know.
it was a cute movie.
I know when I go out with somebody, the first thing that happens is the phone goes off. Now, I do not listen to it. I set the volume down. It doesn't matter. Now, if I go to the men's room, I may check it just to make sure that there's no emergencies or anything. But the phone goes off. I'm looking and talking to the people who I am with versus the phone.
Yes, really important. I saw a picture that was taken at a parade not too long ago, and everybody had their phones up recording the parade, but one older woman was just watching the parade. She didn't have her phone up, nothing. She was in the moment, living it, instead of viewing it through a camera. Big difference. So
Right.
try to live your life, people, away from your phone if you can, because they do have so much control. And, there's many thoughts and theories about how much is being monitored. And there are devices you can put on your cell phone that blocks it from constantly being monitored. I don't know the name of them, but they do have those things if you're concerned about it. And if you've been, let's point back out to this time of year, you may have been feeling kind of unmotivated, sluggish lately. And it's kind of natural at this time of the year. But know that, you're shedding, like the trees get rid of the leaves. You're shedding part of yourself. So take action with the full moon to release everything that has happened this year. Let it go. Send it off. Send it up through God's love and light into the ethers and let it go from you. Believe me, you'll feel better. You can even do like a burning bowl ceremony where you write out everything you want to let go of or are finished with and then burn it. Wonderful to do on a full moon.
I have done that a few times. And
it helps.
For me, it helps, yeah.
It does.
I don't get everything, but it helps.
It does. And you can do it with a barbecue, a fireplace, a metal container, something. And again, thank the moon, God, all that is divine, for what you're releasing and asking them to remove it, especially Archangel Gabriel, who is the divine messenger to and from spirit. He'll help you a lot with what you're releasing and what you're sending into spirit your prayers. Remember, those prayers are important. God's there, and the angels, and they're listening. And when we talk and give thanks, it really helps. It helps us. It helps them to help us. They like the fact that we're acknowledging them and thanking them for what they're doing, even when we don't know what they're doing. Be thankful.
Well, I mean, yeah, I agree with you 100%. If you don't, it's like, figure if someone was talking to you and they just, gimme, 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 and then they never said thank you or anything. You sort of just want to say, the heck with it. But, I mean, they will, you always got to say thank you or, acknowledge that, you're listening.
Yes, they are there. Now, I see we've got someone who's calling in. I don't know if they want to talk or not, but I'll invite them into the program. Hello, this is Cherokee Billie.
Hi, how
Are
are
you there? I'm doing
I'm
fine.
here.
And who is this?
I'm Rosemaria.
Hi, Rosemaria. Did you want to talk? You don't have to. If you just want to listen, that's
I was
fine.
listening. I was listening.
What?
We were just about the changes and stuff like that. That's what's going on with me too. So.
Well, you can read the article on my website on the full moon, which will give you a lot of insight into what to do right now and will help you on your spiritual path.
Okay.
That's what it's all about. Yeah. But thank you
Well,
for calling in and for listening. Please continue listening because we're going to bring up things that may apply. And remember, you can go to my website, Cherokee Billie, spiritualadvisor.com, and read this article and many others. Like, we're coming up to October, the time when the veil really thins, and communication with the spirit world is very easy. So there's a lot of things on my website. But thank you so much for calling in today.
no problem. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I'm appreciative of anybody who's listening. And I brought up earlier, when I introduced you, Ray, that, you studied all my classes. I want people to know that I do teach spirituality. I like teaching more than anything because that's what I feel I'm good at. So if you want to learn certain things, spirituality, animal communication, animal energy work, anything like that, check out my website.
And I have to add that you're very good at what you teach and how you teach. I have learned a lot from you, and I am, I'm happy that I have learned because I've gotten answers that about things, and it's just you're good at what you do. That's all I can say. You're good at what you do.
I really do feel, like I say, that I'm a teacher more than anything. And so, a lot of people don't realize what I do. That's why I'm always mentioning my website. There is a link for it here in this radio program. And again, I am, if you type it in on the search engine, you'll find me. And I appreciate everyone who participates, uses my services, or buys a book or an audio class or something. I really appreciate that very much. Thank you to everyone. So, back here we are with the harvest moon again. Well, it's just this one I think is more, most people know because of the song, Shine on Harvest Moon. I think more people pay attention to this moon than all the others. This and any time there's a blue moon.
Well, it also is, like you said, it's a time for harvest. The farmers have the crop in the field. They're working on getting it in before the winter hits, and they're putting in some. Well, they put in long days every day, but they put in some long days, and they're wanting to do something good because let's face it, without the farmer, none of us are eating unless if we're growing the stuff ourselves. But yeah,
Exactly.
the farmers are out there and they're working as hard as they can and as long as they can before the winter gets here. getting all the crop in and everything else.
Well, and that's the same for us spiritually, is working hard to pull in everything we've done this year so that we can utilize all those energies throughout the end of the year and have more of a restful time. People get so caught up in the holidays, they get away from taking time to just be and relax. As we come up to them, it's already people anticipating, already planning everything. Like Halloween, people have been talking about that for over a month, 2 months, and making plans. And that's just a minor holiday compared to Thanksgiving and Christmas. So,
I think people have lost the true meaning a lot. And I'm not saying everybody, but I think a lot of people have lost the true meaning about the holidays. And I'll just use Christmas as one because it's all about money. And unfortunately, there's more to life than money. And don't get me wrong, we could all use it, but
yes.
there's more to life. Yeah, there's more to life than money. Family get-togethers. Like you said, anybody who's got problems with, let's face it, families aren't what they used to be. They don't get along like they used to. And it's just families get together. You try to make peace with, if you can. Just catch up with everybody, what everybody's been doing throughout the year, and just camaraderie, I guess, out of a lack of word to use. But it's family.
Yes, and or close friends that you feel are family. All of these people are important, but again, people are more and more isolating themselves from true connections and feelings with individuals, be it family or friends. It's becoming much harder. I've noticed this trend ever since the world famous pandemic. It has changed us tremendously.
I agree 100%. People just aren't what they used to be, and people want to do things like they shouldn't be doing. And so, it's just, I don't know. Families just aren't what they used to be. Every Sunday, people used to get together and sit down and have a meal. The holidays, people was always there in the holidays together. One day you would go to, this one's place, next day you go to that one's place. But now people just don't do that anymore. It's all, let's go to the club and get drunk, or whatever the case may be.
Or they stay alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's less of getting together. It just is, and it's sad. Very sad. Like what I was pointing out about, people with cell phones, like those movies I watched. I saw an interesting picture not too long ago of Johnny Depp, the actor, and he was on a boat, some cruise or some little short thing, and there were two girls sitting on a bench, and they were staring at their phone as he walked by, and they never even saw him. And it was like, wow, you just missed the major star walking by you because you're glued to your phone. People are missing out on life. Like, they're not investing in the real world. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, as much as we use computers or cell phones connecting to the internet, it isn't reality. It's cyber reality.
Right. And all this, it's people need to, they don't need to be out all the time. They don't need to be whatever. But, families should be important. Get together with families. That's the way I look at it. Unfortunately, I don't practice what I preach, but my whole family lives in different parts. So,
that's what I was going to say. That's another problem. People live so scattered nowadays. People don't live close to one another. That's another one of the problems. But a lot of people use FaceTime, and they have get-togethers, where they get on a conference with everybody, and that can prove to be beneficial. I'm not putting that down by any means, because again, with people living so far away, it's at least a way to connect.
Right, right. At least you could actually see somebody, and they see you. Like me,
Yes.
I talked to a family member that I hadn't seen in probably 30 years. I talked to him, and then when it was like FaceTime, their mother was there, their brothers and sisters are there. So I got to see, and the husbands were there, and I got to see, and I mean, that's the first time I've seen them in, like I said, 30 years, but it's something that
Wow.
you actually see.
Yes, and, I can't speak enough about things like that. You can even, like for the holidays, you can get around the FaceTime with your friends and families and, talk about what you're cooking or what you're planning for your Thanksgiving. It's a way to still connect, and that is important, very important. Our lack of communication and connecting is atrocious, plain and simple.
Right,
But
right.
we're here trying to tell people to do this, and hopefully they will be kicked into inspiration to do it. And remember to, please, anyone listening to this, read my article on the harvest moon. And again, things that are coming up in October, they're already up on my blog about, October, because of the spirituality that comes in is really incredible. Especially October 31st is one of the most spiritual nights, and I'm not talking about Halloween. I'm talking about spirituality and that connection, that veil being so thin. That's why Halloween came into existence. There were people who understood it. They called it different names, but it's been around since the beginning of time, basically. It's been the
Right,
beginning of our
right.
time, anyway. And,
Well, then, when that bill's thin, I have found out after my son, when he was first born, the bill it was extremely thin. He would tell me stuff that he would shock me. I mean, after he got a little bit
yeah,
older, when he could
you've
talk.
mentioned him before.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
and
young kids, they really do have a connection
yeah.
that we don't.
So I mean, but I'm thinking I'm getting more of a connection now with the thin veil. But I'm still working on it. I'm still a work in progress.
Yeah, well, you do very well, with spiritual communication. You have it, I think, a million times easier the way you do it than me. It comes very quick and swift and easily for you, and that's a true gift. It really is. And, keep trying to build that gift up, especially now that you're aware, here we are. You've got the harvest moon harvesting and everything, and then boom, getting into that spirituality. And I know you'll take advantage of it, and it will
Oh,
help you.
absolutely.
I'm sure you'll get lots of guidance. You always do, it seems.
There's a lot of things that I'd like to know, and hopefully I'll be able to find some of them out
Yeah,
through the thin bill.
you and me both. I mean, I'm looking for some answers too. Come on down, spirits, speak to me. I'm here. I'm listening. Well, we got to have a little humor. Well, we're coming down to like the last minute of the show. And as
Okay.
always, Ray, I'm so grateful you join me in this. It helps me tremendously. And I want to thank you for being here.
Well, I thank you for having me.
Well, it's just a blessing for me because otherwise I can't think how I would talk for 30 minutes all by myself. I just can't. It's
I
not
talk to myself all the
something I
time.
do. Well, I talk to myself, but talking out to people would be a little different. But everyone who's listening, please make sure you take advantage of the harvest moon, pull in that energy, work with the angels, create something, and know that you're going to be blessed by doing this and see some changes in your life and connect with your family. Call them for the harvest moon. Why not? Anyway, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Check out my website, Cherokee Billie, spiritual advisor. Be blessed. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.